to extend sincere gratitude to the leadership of the Parliament of Uganda for the continued excellent facilitation and courtesies that is making our business to run smoothly. Clerk, you can proceed.
Item number 3 on the order paper, laying of papers.
Chair of the Committee on GP, lay your report.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the report of the Committee on General Purpose on the reconsideration of the EAC Financial Service Commission Bill 2022. I beg to lay.
Chair of the Committee on Regional Affairs and the Conflict Resolution, to lay your report.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to lay the report of the Committee on Regional Affairs and Conflict Resolution on the assessment of the performance and functioning of the regional police centers of excellences and security agencies' cooperation in tackling cross-border crime within the region. The activity was conducted on 16th to 21st September 2024 in the 5 partner states. I beg to lay.
Thank you.
Item number 4 on the order paper, report of the Committee on General Purpose on the reconsideration of the EAC Financial Services Commission Bill of 2022 by way of motion.
Chair, move your motion.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move a motion that the report of the Committee on General Purpose on the reconsideration of the EAC Financial Service Commission Bill 2022 be adopted. I beg to move.
Do you have seconders? We have Ndangiza, Sankok, Clement, and others. Proceed.
Report of the Committee on General Purpose on the reconsideration of the EAC Financial Service Commission Bill.
I think we can continue.
The report is there. It was produced since yesterday. Mr. Speaker, sir, on 1st March 2022, the chairperson of the East African Community Council of Ministers tabled in the House the East African Financial Service Commission Bill 2022 for the first reading. Accordingly, the Right Honourable Speaker referred the bill to the Committee on General Purpose for consideration. In accordance with the treaty and the rules of procedure of the Assembly, the committee processed the bill by, among others, conducting public hearings in partner states and holding consultative meetings with the ministers. The Assembly passed the bill on 15th December 2022 and on 31st January 2023. The Clerk of the Assembly transmitted to the partner states advance copies of the bill in preparation for assent by the EAC heads of states. In his letter dated 31st October 2023, Honorable Abdi Dubat, Principal Secretary of the Ministry of East African Community Affairs and Regional Development in the Republic of Kenya, notified the Clerk of the Assembly that the bill did not adequately address the concern raised by the Republic of Kenya as Annex 1. In the letter, the Principal Secretary highlighted the concerns and requested the Assembly to reconsider the same. Relatedly, in his letter dated 5th March 2024, addressed to the Clerk of the Assembly, His Excellency Ambassador Gavias Ambaheo, Minister of East African Community Affairs, Youth, Sports and Culture in the Republic of Burundi, highlighted the comments of the Republic of Burundi that were not included in the bill. See Annex 2. At the sitting of the Assembly held on 12 March 2024 in Nairobi, Kenya, the Speaker referred the bill back to the Committee on General Purpose for reconsideration. The committee convened in Nairobi, Kenya from the 16th to 21st of September to consider the bill. Background: Article 82, 1 of the treaty requires partner states to cooperate in monetary and financial matters and maintain convertibility of their currencies, which is essential for establishing the East African Monetary Union, EAMO, as an integral part of the community. To operationalize these provisions, the EAC partner state negotiated a protocol for the establishment of the EAMO, with the overall objective of the monetary union being to promote and maintain monetary and financial stability aimed at facilitating economic integration, thereby sustaining growth and development within the community as outlined in Article 3 of the East African Monetary Union Protocol. For the effective functioning of EAMO, the protocol stipulates the establishment of 4 institutions to support the monetary union, which include the East African Monetary Institute, EAMI, the East African Statistics Bureau, the East African Surveillance, Compliance and Enforcement Commission, and the East African Financial Service Commission. According to the roadmap annexed to the protocol on the monetary union, the East African Financial Service Commission was expected to be established by 2018. The Commission's overarching objective is to supervise and regulate non-banking financial services, which include the insurance, pension, capital markets, and microfinance sector. It is important to note that the banking regulation and supervision will be responsibility of the East African Central Bank once established. Specifically, the objective of the Commission are to promote the integration of financial systems within the community. B, encourage the harmonization of supervisory and regulatory practices for the non-banking financial sector. C, enhance confidence and protection for consumers, investors, and other users of non-banking financial services. And D, to promote the stability of the financial system. The functions of the Commission shall include coordinating and harmonizing supervisory and regulatory practices for a non-banking financial sector, harmonizing and integrating payment and settlement system, financial markets infrastructure, and other related systems. Conducting effective risk management framework for the non-banking sector, collaborating with national competent authorities and relevant institutions to develop and implement a crisis management and resolution for the financial sector. E, developing and coordinating a framework for the protection of consumers, investors, and the users of non-bank financial services in collaboration with national competent authorities. Monitoring and coordinating the implementation of recommendations from the Council and other relevant organs of the community concerning the non-bank financial sector, promoting the development of the non-bank financial sector, facilitating information sharing between national competent authorities, enhancing cooperation among national competent authorities to establish conditions conducive to a stable and efficient financial system, and advising and making recommendations to the Council on matters related to the Commission, and performing any other function necessary for the implementation of this Act. During the reconsideration of the bill, the committee interfaced with the chairperson of the Council of Ministers and the delegates from the Republic of Burundi, Republic of Kenya, and the United Republic of Tanzania, scrutinized and considered the letters of objection from the 2 partner states, made reference to the treaty, the protocol on establishment of the East African Community Monetary Union, the Eala rules of procedure, and other relevant instruments of the community. Specific findings and observations. 1, comments from the Republic of Burundi. The letter, you can forgive me in this name, the letter from the ambassador, Javias Abehoyo, something of that kind.
Abayeho.
Abayeho, yes.
Yes.
Member of the Council of Ministers from Burundi raised concern regarding the non-inclusion of comments from the Republic of Burundi in the bill. In the letter, the following comments were raised. Addition of the words of this act in apostrophic to the definition of the words court board and court commission in clause 2 of the bill immediately after the reference to the sections of the bill, and addition of the word court community in the short title of the bill. The committee observed that the two comments relate to the drafting style of the community and did not require reconsideration by the Assembly. Section 2 of the Laws of the East African Community Interpretation Act 2004 specifies that court means a section of the act in which word occurs. As such, there is no need to add any reference to this court act, since this is clarified for all acts of the community. The committee noted that the title to the bill was negotiated and agreed by all partner states during the development of the bill and adopted by the Council with the concurrence of the Republic of Burundi. This is not the first bill/act where the word court community does not appear in the title. Other community laws which do not have this term include, among others, the East African Community Institute Act 2019, the Administration of the East African Legislative Assembly Act 2012, the East African Legislative Assembly Powers and Privilege Act 2023. During the meeting, the delegates from Burundi from the Republic of Burundi noted that their comments were informed by Francophone drafting style, but was satisfied with the above explanation. In view of this, the committee noted that there is no need for the Secretariat to train, there is need for the Secretariat to train focal officers in the ministry responsible for EAC affairs in the drafting style of the community. Comments from the Republic of Kenya. The letter from the Principal Secretary, Ministry of East African Community, Regional Development, and ASALS stated that the Republic of Kenya was not ready to assent to the bill until the concerns of the stakeholders were addressed by the Assembly. The comments relate to the following provisions of the bill. 1, Clause 2, definition of non-banking financial services. According to the Republic of Kenya, the definition of non-banking financial is seen as contradictory, as it refers to other financial services, which is a broad involving term. It should explicitly exclude institutions licensed and regulated by the respective central banks. Further, the definition fails to specify the regulator, which is essential for the governance of non-banking services, for instance, which the Central Bank of Kenya recently regulating digital credit service providers in Kenya. Exclusion in the bill of the banking subsector alone is not sufficient to cover the institutions regulated by the Central Bank of Kenya. The committee noted that the definition of non-bank financial sector is directly linked to Article 14.4b up to F of the Protocol for the establishment of the East African Monetary Union. The reference to other court financial services, end of quote, does not appear in the bill, but rather is derived directly from Article 14F of the Protocol. Article 14.4F of the Protocol. The definition in the bill does not specify any regulator, supervisor in respect of any of the services listed in Article 14.4 of the Protocol. The bill does not specify the regulator of the supervisor for any of the non-bank financial subsectors as listed in Article 14.4b to F of the Protocol. Another comment from the Republic of Kenya is that under Clause 6.1a, the function of the Commission include the coordination and harmonization of supervisory and regulatory practices for the non-bank financial sector. There is no provision for the Commission to develop and coordinate the implementation of a framework to guide this process. Accordingly, to the Republic of Kenya, there is need to insert a provision under the function of the Commission to develop and coordinate implementation of a framework for the coordination and harmonization of supervisory and regulatory practices for the non-bank financial sector. The committee noted that the bill already provides for the Commission to coordinate and harmonize the supervisory and regulatory practices for the non-bank financial sector. The law cannot presume at this stage how the Commission shall coordinate and harmonize their practices. The specific instruments to be used to coordinate and harmonize the regulatory and supervisory practices will depend on the nature of the regulatory and supervisory practices to be coordinated or harmonized and shall be established as established by the Commission. This should therefore not be prescribed by the law at this stage. The third comment from the Republic of Kenya is that under Clause 6.1b, there is need to include a provision under the function of the Commission to develop and coordinate implementation of a framework for the harmonization of financial markets, infrastructures, and the other systems. The committee noted that the bill already provides for the Commission to coordinate and harmonize the financial market infrastructure and other services. The law cannot presume at this stage how the Commission shall coordinate and harmonize the financial market infrastructure. The framework or specific instruments to be used to coordinate and harmonize the systems shall be developed and established by the Commission. This should therefore not be prescribed by the law at this stage. The fourth comment from the Republic of Kenya is that Clause 6b, which tasks the Commission with harmonizing and integrating payment and settlement systems, duplicates the role assigned to the East African Monetary Institute, as outlined in Section 4A of the East African Monetary Institute Act 2019. The committee noted that whereas Section 4A3 of the East African Community Monetary Institute Act 2019 provides that the Institute is responsible for coordinating the harmonization of the payment and settlement systems, the work of the Monetary Institute, which is IAMI, is temporary, since according to Section 3 of that Act, IAMI is responsible for undertaking the preparatory work for the realization of the monetary union. In addition, the harmonization and integration of the payment system is for all institutions in the financial systems, which include the central bank, working together with the regional and national institutions responsible for regulating and supervising the non-bank financial sectors as key participants in the payment system as defined by the protocol. What appears as a duplication is a deliberate provision to ensure that IAMI coordinates the harmonization of the payment system during the preparatory work for the monetary union, and the Commission also harmonizes the payment systems relating to the non-bank financial sector together with the IAMI, and after the preparatory work done by IAMI. The fifth comment from the Republic of Kenya is that under Clause 11, there is a grammatical error regarding the spelling of the term chief in court needs correction. The committee noted that correction of typographical and misprint error does not require reconsideration by the Assembly. Section 6.2 of the Acts of the East African Community Act 2024 and Section 18.2a of the Laws of the Community Interpretation Act already empowers the clerk to cause to be made in the assent copies such correction as related to misprints, typographical errors, wrong references, if any, as are necessary during the preparation of assent copies. The last comment from the Republic of Kenya, Clause 24, the provision does not include protection of staff from personal liability. This will be included in the bill. The committee noted that issues relating to protection of staff is already provided for by the treaty and the East African Community Staff Rules and Regulations. Article 37 of the treaty provides that the persons in the service of the community shall be immune from civil processes with respect to omissions or acts performed by them in official capacity. This is reinforced by the Protocol on Immunities and Privileges and Regulation 15 of the Staff Rules and Regulations. There is therefore no need to include provisions on protection of staff in the bill. Further to the meeting that was held in Nairobi on 16th to 21st September 2024, the committee also held a consultative meeting with Mr. James Lokwale, representing the minister responsible for EAC affairs in the Republic of Kenya on the 4th November 2024, the officer informed the committee that upon consultation with the relevant officers, the Republic of Kenya was in agreement with the explanation given by the committee on all issues raised by the government in the letter dated 31st October 2023 as Annex 1. To this effect, the Republic of Kenya dropped her comments, a request for the reconsideration of the East African Financial Service Commission Bill 2022. General observation. According to Article 63 of the Treaty and Commonwealth Parliamentary Practices, the executive can return a bill to Parliament for reconsideration. However, the provision for reconsideration are only restricted to areas where Parliament made amendments to the original bill during its enactment. Parliament cannot reconsider a provision clause of a bill that was never amended during the second reading. It was noted that the comments and proposal for the Republic of Burundi and the Republic of Kenya relate to original provision of the bill which were never amended by the Assembly during the second reading in December 2022. The East African Financial Service Commission Bill 2022 is a council bill that was developed through a comprehensive consultative processes involving all state institutions in the partner state. The bill was adopted by the Council of Ministers with the concurrence of both the Republic of Burundi and the Republic of Kenya. Their proposal for reconsideration by the Assembly are submitted by the Republic of Burundi and the Republic of Kenya present a fundamental policy shift which may compromise the negotiated positions and agreement of the partner states. It would therefore require the concurrence of all partner states for such proposals to be accommodated, which procedure would require the Council of Ministers to reintroduce the bill to the Assembly for the first reading. The committee recognizes the sovereign right of the partner state to assent or withhold assent to bills passed by the Assembly as per the provision of Article 63 of the treaty. However, the same Article 63(2) of the treaty enjoins a partner state that may have reservation on the bill to send their comments for reconsideration within 3 months of after the Assembly passed the same bill. Unfortunately, partner states have continuously violated this treaty requirement to the extent that they return bills for reconsideration by the partner states after a long time, some after so many years. These anomaly disrupt the legislative processes of the community and the process of integration. In conclusion, the comments and proposal from the Republic of Burundi relate to the drafting style of the community and therefore do not require reconsideration by the Assembly, since Section 2 of the laws of the East African Community Interpretation Act 2004 gives adequate clarity on this. On the other hand, the comments and proposals from the Republic of Kenya are substantially new proposals with significant policy implications on the overall objective of the community. Therefore, the Assembly is constrained to pass the above proposals, which under the purview of the Council of Ministers. In view of the above finding and observation, the committee recommends to the Assembly, 1, to urge the Council of Ministers to implore the partner states to familiarize themselves with the style of drafting beyond the laws of the community to ensure consistency and clarity in legislation. 2, urge the Council of Ministers to ensure that partner states are engaged in comprehensive and timely consultation with their counterparts to address any outstanding related issues to Council bills before returning them to the Assembly for reconsideration, thereby avoiding delays in the legislative processes. Urge the Council of Ministers to direct the partner states to always comply with the timeliness of assent or withholding of assent to bills as per provision of Article 63 of the treaty, and urge the Council of Ministers to ensure that any partner state that may want to propose amendments to bills with significant policy implication, such proposals should undergo review by the Council of Ministers to ensure alignment with the overall objective of the East African community. Adopt the report and not to proceed with the recommittal of the East African Financial Service Commission Bill 2022, since the concerns of the Republic of Burundi and the Republic of Kenya has been comprehensively addressed in this report. Finally, urge the Council of Ministers to forward the East African Financial Service Commission Bill 2022 as passed by the Assembly in December 2022 to the EAC summit of the heads of state for assent at the earliest opportunity. Mr. Speaker, that is the end of the report, and I thank you for listening.
Thank you. Honorable members, the motion on the floor is that the report of the Committee on General Purpose on the reconsideration of the EAC Financial Services Commission Bill 2022 be adopted. Debate is open. It is clear this bill had been passed in December 2022. And it is back, and the countries that had proposed its reconsideration have agreed. I'll give the floor to 3 members just to contribute, then because we have nothing to change, then we proceed. Honorable Kakoza, Honorable Ndangiza. Thank you. Only 2, then we proceed. Honorable Kakoza, you have the floor.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to thank the committee what they have reported to us. I think the gist of the matter on this report, Right Honorable Speaker, is the Council of Ministers. They take a lot of time. Technocrats go and sit in Arusha. They negotiate, they agree, and then they somersault. What does that mean? It means that time is wasted. And with integration itself, with the legal framework, there is no way you can backtrack on negotiations and you think you can forge a way forward. And really, for us, when we are debating here, it's quite important. I'm happy there is a Council of Ministers. When you are dealing with these issues of legal framework, you must consider that the drafting of the bills, you are the people who make the objective and the memorandum of the principle of the bill. And once Parliament agrees to carry that principle in second reading, the third reading must be in conformity to what you have agreed on. So the practices that have been mentioned in the practices of Commonwealth parliaments, it's really Council of Ministers. It's when we debate here, you're always absent. And when the Council of Ministers are not here to highlight, to know all these mistakes, that's what comes next. Somebody, when you adopt a report, he says, no, I was not there, and what has been agreed is not. 2, delegation in such a committees on technical matters which concern all the partner states. Why do you delegate? You people, you don't take a decision in the committees. That's why you can find that the person who was sent in Kenya, he said he agreed, but maybe the substantive minister would have taken a position on behalf of that government. Didn't. So please, the Council of Ministers, help us. Don't make our work very difficult. And 2, there is no way we can backtrack. You take a long time to return the bills and you think we are going to integrate properly. I can imagine the best example we have, Right Honorable Speaker, that there are almost, according to Audit Commission, there are almost 24 bills which has not been assented for. Look at that time, from 2018, now in 2024. How do you expect the integration to be there without a legal framework? With those few remarks, I want to thank the committee about the comprehensive report. Thank you very much.
The next is Honorable Ndangiza.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to start by thanking our able chair, Honorable Mkulia, and the entire committee of GP for a very good report. But I also want to remind ourselves that, as His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda told us, integration of the East African community is our survival. It's not something that we take for laxity or luxury. We need to have a sense of urgency. Right Honorable Speaker, the 4 bills that create institutions that will support the operationalization of the monetary union, including the EAC Financial Services Commission Bill 2022, were passed by 4th Eala. And the anticipation was that by 2023, the monetary union would be operational. Now you can imagine, from that time to now, the lag we've had, because of all the 4 bills, it's only 1 bill that was assented to, which is the Monetary Institute. Unfortunately, initially we thought that it was the member bills that were returned because of reasons beyond our control, but this time around, these are council bills, agreed by the council, debated, and when they came to us, as was clearly highlighted, we didn't change much. Even those areas where the 2 partner states raised issues, these were original words and they were original content. So really, there should be a sense of urgency. As we speak now, monetary union new time frame is 2031. And going by this pace, I'm not sure that even 2031 we shall make it. So really, I want to urge our council members to have a sense of urgency. Imagine whenever we consider a bill, we spend almost $100,000. And next time when you do it, the council should pay for that. It shouldn't come from our money because we already have meager resources. But even the time, because we are talking about integration for our people, when you talk to the business people, they tell you having a single currency should have been done a long time ago. So I don't want to take much of the time. This is a straightforward bill. The objective of this bill is to allow this commission to supervise and regulate non-financial services, including insurance, capital markets, pensions, microfinance, subsectors. So with those few remarks, I want to urge all our members to adopt this report, but more important, for the council to urge our heads of state to assent to this bill and 3 other bills related to monetary union. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. I will take Honorable Akol Rose and we'll stop there.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Mine are just a few comments and to urge Council, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, mine is to do with these bills that have financial implications and originate from Council. Right Honorable Speaker, I think it's a high time that this Assembly requires Council, whenever such a bill, especially establishing very important institutions which are a prerequisite for the full implementation of a protocol like now the monetary union. I think the Assembly should insist that Council should always present such bills with a memorandum or certificate, then we call it a memorandum of financial implications, because this is a bill establishing an institution. It will require a structure, it will require staff, even the organogram of the staff that should be required, that will be required by the institution, should be attached. This is just for planning purposes, so that in the future, when we are implementing now, like now the Monetary Institute has failed to take off, because each time the Council meets, we get to know this. There are issues to do with the establishment of such an institution. Where do we put it? And then some member states offer. Me, I have premises where we can house this institute. That should not be the way. There should be equity in allocation and of these institutions in all the EAC countries. Not because I can afford to give a structure where this institute will be housed, then the institute should be taken there. I'm saying this because that is the trend the Monetary Institute is taking. Now, every bill should come with these financial implications presented here, so that when we go into budgeting as an assembly, when the budget is brought, perhaps even a time frame for the establishment should be attached, so that we insist that these resources should be well budgeted for in a financial year where this institution is timed to be established. So, as we pass these bills, I want to require Council also to give us a time frame. We passed the Monetary Institute bill, it was assented, up to now it's not established. We are going to pass this one. I hope it will be assented to urgently, as we are behind schedule for the establishment of the Monetary Union. So, can we also have a framework giving timelines as to when these institutions will be operational, especially those that have been assented to by our heads of state? Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Rose. This. I have closed the debate. 1 minute, please.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, for reconsidering your position and to allow me to submit on this matter. Right Honourable Speaker, I was not going to say anything, but from the submission which was made by the Honourable Akol, it arose my mind and my thinking. Right Honourable Speaker, she was suggesting that they should come with I think they should provide a certificate of financial implication to be sure that the community is going to finance these institutions. As you are aware, Right Honourable Speaker, we have a very big problem in terms of financing our community. Now, the proposal which I'm making to the Council, it may be moving away from probably the position already which is established. But my view is that since all these institutions which we are creating, the 4 institutions which we are creating, are all meant to facilitate the operationalization of the monetary union, why can't they go back and reconsider all of them and come up with only one institution, and the rest are just departments of one of those institutions? Because we are passing this law here, but you are going to have a problem financing these institutions, and you have them struggling just like those which are already existing. They are struggling, Mr. Speaker. This one is just a food for thought on the side of the Council, Right Honourable Speaker, and even the House. You may also be, you should think about it and see how to help this struggling community. Thank you, Right Honourable
Information.
Honourable Musamari, are you taking the information, or we?
I had signed off, Right Honourable Speaker. But in your wisdom, that information may help the House and the community.
Okay, please be short.
Right Honourable Speaker, I think since the Council of Ministers here, this Parliament has been requesting to draft a bill on Public Finance Management Act, where Honourable Rose was saying that every bill to bring it from the Council of Ministers, it must be with financial resources that the Council will support those institutions. Because it's almost a luxury. When you bring a bill and you don't have a command, you don't do it. So they should be aware that this Parliament accorded me a law which we are going to bring.
I'm sorry. But all of those information we are bringing, we have a minister who will be given the floor. He will give us his considerations on everything. So, Honorable Msamali, proceed. If you have finished, I give now the floor to clarification.
Right, Honorable Speaker, just a short clarification. I'm in support of the report, but because this is a House of Records, when the Honorable Chair was reading in page 8, the article, page 8, I think paragraph 2, it's Article 70. It was read 37, but the article is 73 as it's written. And also on page 9, in conclusion and recommendation, the Act is 2004, not 2024. Just to set the records right. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I'm in support of the bill.
Thank you. Now I give the floor to the Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister, now you have the floor. If we have some contributions, if any, we proceed.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm glad to be here to represent the Council of Ministers and will be conveying to them, to that council, all the appropriate concerns which the members are raising herewith. For the moment, I only wish to react to the question of the report of the committee which is on the agenda right now. I want to concede that given the fact that the ministers of Kenya and Burundi, who had been objecting to particular provisions of the earlier legislation proposed by this council, by the assembly, given the fact that they have withdrawn their objection, it ought to be put on record that the Council of Ministers shall henceforth not have any objection to this particular report. It will be processed in the normal manner, and hopefully we should get expeditious treatment from the various organs which make final decision on this, so that the council can become legal provision for this body. But regarding the financial, any other issues that I am hearing, at least for my part, I'm hearing them for the first time. You might wish to know that I've been a bit rare. My face is a bit rare here. I came I think when I was being sworn in. So even part of the procedures, part of what, the things which are in and outside, all those I don't have much I can comment about. All I can say is that I will reflect and convey these particular areas which you have mentioned to the council, and in the nearest possible future, I'm even hearing on the grapevine that they may be meeting very soon, So we might have some good news thereafter. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Now I give the floor to the mover, the chair.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Chair. The Minister representing Council in this meeting. I would like to reply to the report. One is a clarification that was sought by Honorable Wada. Please accept the omissions and the errors that while reading I pronounce, so therefore they can be corrected. The second item is when you look at page 9 of the report, under conclusion, the last paragraph there, which says, therefore the Assembly is constrained to pass the above proposal, which are under the purview of the Council Minister. Remember, the Republic of Kenya withdrew its objection to the bill, therefore that sentence doesn't exist, so I beg that we remove it from the report to ensure that the letter the letter that Kenya wrote in support of the bill is sufficient enough for us to proceed other than recommittal of the bill. So I think we should be able to remove that. And then the next item is on page 10, page 10(6). Urge the Council of Ministers to forward. Colleagues, you are aware that Article 11 of the treaty establishing, where is my note? Yes. Colleagues, you are aware that the Assembly cannot urge the Council of Ministers to be able to forward a bill to summit, but rather Article 62(3) of the treaty expressed that upon passage of a bill by the Assembly, the Speaker shall then submit the bill to the heads of state for assent. So I think we cannot pass through ministers. And this also came up because the letters that object to the bill did not come from the heads of state. So it is in violation of the provision of the treaty. Assent to bill, as provided for under Article 11 as function of the summit, is that 5 says, subject to this treaty, the summit may delegate the exercise of any of its functions subject to any condition which it may think fit to impose to a member of the summit, to the council, or to the Secretary General. However, Article 11(9) provides that the delegation of powers and functions referred to in paragraph 5 and 6 of this article shall not A, be giving of general directions and inputs, B, appointment of judges to the East African Court of Justice, C, admission of a new members and granting of observer status to foreign countries, and assent to bill. So assent to bill is a prerogative of the summit, not a council member. So ministers, this is something you should be also conveying that to the council members in terms of who should be writing to us. We may not in future proceed to consider bills signed by any other person other than the summit, because this has been happening and it is dragging the legislative processes behind. So this is something we want to take seriously, and that once it's returned by a council member or like this one's returned by permanent secretaries, it's just, I don't know what to say, but that's how it is. Honorable members, also allow me reply to thank the following members who contributed to the report. Honorable James, Honorable James Kakoza, Honorable Ndangiza Fatuma, Ambassador, Honorable Rose Akol, Honorable Paul Musamali, and then honorable members of the Committee on General Purpose, all of them, our able clerks, and everybody, including the members that listened, that is also a contribution that you have given to this House. I thank you so much, and I beg that we adopt this report once the question is put. I thank you, honorable members.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I now put the question that the report of the Committee on General Purpose on the reconsideration of the EAC Financial Services Commission Bill 2022 be adopted. Those in favor, be adopted as amended. Those in favor say aye. To the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Item number 5 on the order paper, report of the Committee on Regional Affairs and Conflict Resolution on the assessment of the performance and functioning of the regional police centers of excellence and security agencies' cooperation in tackling cross-border crime within EAC by way of motion.
This is the chair of the Committee on Regional Affairs and Conflict Resolution to move the motion.
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the report of the Committee on Regional Affairs and Conflict Resolution on the assessment of the performance and functioning of the regional police centers of excellence and security agencies' cooperation in tackling cross-border crime within the region be moved. Be adopted, Right Honorable Speaker.
Do you have seconders? Honorable James, Honorable Dr. Ito, Honorable Msamali, Honorable Francois, and others. Now you proceed with the justifications. But Honorable Member, Chair, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Before you proceed, we have in the VIP gallery, we have a delegation from Kajiado County Assembly in Kenya. And they include the speaker, the deputy speaker, who is Honorable Daniel Kukan, and Honorable Mbiriri Mwaura, and Honorable Bernard Moloma, Honorable Ann Ndeti, Honorable Caroline Ndeti, and Mr. Bernard Pardio. These names sounds familiar. That's why our Honorable Sankok is... Please, honorable members, stand to be recognized from Kajiado County. Thank you. Honorable Chair, you can proceed.
Right Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues, I beg to present this report on the Committee on Regional Affairs and Conflict Resolution on the assessment and performance and functioning of the police centers of excellence and security agencies' cooperation in tackling cross-border crime within the EAC region. Mr. Speaker, this report was conducted on the 16th to 21st September 2024 in 5 partner states. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to go straight to do the introduction, which is on the page 6, because I know that colleagues will follow on the other pages. Right Honorable Speaker, in accordance with Article 124 of the Treaty for the Establishment of the East African Community, peace and security is identified as a prerequisite for the success of the EAC integration. It influences the implementation of the
Point
EAC.
of procedure, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Mary.
Mr. Speaker, we don't have this document that the Chair of Regional Affairs and Conflict Resolution is reading. He's the only one with a copy. This side we don't.
Maybe they can give you a copy when they distributed them, and maybe when Chair can proceed.
Speaker, I hope my member is catered for. Honorable Mary is a very strong member of this committee. So, Right Honorable Speaker, I am on page 6, and I want to do paragraph 2. Subsequently to Chapter 23 of the treaty, the treaty is explicit on the enabling policy of intervention as expected of foreign, defense, peace and security sector. Article 124 spells out a wide range of approaches for implementing the treaty in order to have a stable and secure environment within the region. The importance of security is further emphasized in the EAC vision of a prosperous, competitive, secure, stable, and politically united East Africa. Given the reality that our region is confronted by security threats such as interstate conflict, terrorism, radicalization, and violent extremism, porous borders and conflict, policy and human and drug trafficking, money laundering and cybercrime, motor vehicle theft, and small arms and or weapons. To facilitate a structured response to our aforementioned threats, the community has developed a number of instruments, including the EAC Peace and Security Protocol, the Regional Strategy for Peace and Security, the Protocol on Combating Illicit Drugs, Trafficking and Regional Small Arms and Light Weapons Policy, and Conflict Management and Resolution Framework, among the others. The EAC policies, the EAC Police Centers of Excellence are part of the overall interventions to operationalize the above-mentioned protocol, policy, and framework. The Centers of Excellence are anchored on the following directives of the Council of Ministers of the EAC. On the fourth Council of Interstate and Security, held on the 6th August 2021 in Arusha, Tanzania, directed the partner states to commence the processes of establishing specialized national forensic centers of excellence and report the progress to the 5th meeting of the Sector Council on interstate security, the decision as highlighted below. Directed the Sector Council to organize visits to partner states by experts drawn from the partner states to assess their stability to host the regional referral forensic center in inter-ally of Tanzania, of inter-ally training, accreditation of laboratory and certification of the forensic scientists, and to report back to the chiefs of police by 1st October 2011. The decision is as below. On the 5th Sector Council of Interstate Security on 27th August 2024 in Kigali, Rwanda, took note of the development from the experts' assessment mission report and the recommendation of the chiefs of police. The decision, as seen below, argued the partner states, in a collaboration with the regional referral centers, to strengthen the National Forensic Laboratory. The decision is as seen below. Adopted the proposal by the EAC chiefs, police chiefs, on peace support operation, criminal investigation, culture and sports, and disaster management, among the other. The decision is there before. The 6th meeting of the Sector Council on Interstate Security, held on the 28th of March 2014 in Mombasa, Kenya, adopted the recommendation of the chiefs of police for hosting the Center of Excellence by partner state. A, General Criminal Intelligence and Investigation, Counterterrorism, and Police Aviation, to be hosted by the Republic of Kenya. Disaster management and disarmament by Burundi. Traffic management, gender-based violence, child protection, police institution of higher learning, training on intermediate and senior commander center, peace support operation and logistics by the Republic of Rwanda, community policing and social media by Uganda, and public order and management, General Junior Commander Course, and maritime police. This is by URT. The objective of these activities were to establish the level of collaboration between the mandated institution in police and security agencies, fostering crime crackdown, to assess the legal regime and institutional framework, to enhance the joint operations like host pursuit to extradition of criminals and limitation therein, the rules of N. I beg honorable colleagues that I go through this because we have them. And I want to refer you to methodology, which is, Right Honorable Speaker, on page 8. And you will see the overall methodology under Table 1, the Center of Excellence in different partner states. Burundi, disaster management and disarmament. The Kenya National Police Service, Air Wing, Anti-Terrorism Police Unit, National Criminal Investigation Academy. Rwanda, traffic management, gender-based violence and child protection, police institutions of higher learning, peace support operation and logistics. United Republic of Tanzania, junior commander training in Moshi, police maritime center of excellence. Uganda, the regional forensic referral center of excellence, and community policing and social media. The subcommittee gathered information through presentation from the relevant officers. I ask that I also pass over that, Right Honorable Speaker, but maybe we do the key findings specifically from Rwanda. In Rwanda, the team engaged and paid courtesy to the IGP and the senior centers. They did Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, paid courtesy call to Inspector General of Police, Peace Operation and Training Center, Traffic Management Systems, and Gender-Based Violence and Child Protection, Police Senior Commander Staff course at the National Police College. Right Honorable Speaker, the team met the Director of Africa, the DG Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of the Republic of Rwanda. And below you can see the engagement that the team participated in, facilitating bilateral and multilateral agreements, coordination training opportunities to offer for security personnel, raising public awareness about cross-border crime and international cooperation. She commended the Eala for dedicated efforts to enhance the capabilities of the Regional Police Center of Excellence in fight against cross-border crime, and assured the ministry's support to ensure that Eala mandate is achieved. The meetings with the IGP provided the overview of the mandates of the centers of excellence to be visited. He highlighted these centers are operational, and the government of Rwanda always invests in these centers to advance their capacities and capabilities. The IGP pointed out that despite being designated as EAC centers of excellence, there is currently no regional coordination among these centers. He noted that arrangements for incorporating students from various EAC partner states are sponsored by the host countries. He recommended the regular assessment of these centers to ensure they remain sustainable and effective, as some may not be achieving the expected outcomes. He emphasized the need for Eala assessment to be viewed objectively, cautioning that the composition of the team by only Rwandans might lead to a perception of bias in the final report. Yet their appreciation meets what they found on the ground. The Peace Operation Training Center. The subcommittee visited the Peace Operation Training Center located at the Police Training School, PTS, in Gisiri, Rwanda, Rwamagana district. The objectives, Right Honorable Speaker, of this scene, evaluate the role of Police Training School, Gisiri, in the regional peace support operation, to assess the training programs offered, focusing on peace support and public order and management and regional collaboration, to identify the opportunities for expanding the center's capacity to accommodate more training programs. The commandant of the police training school briefed the team on page 10. We want the roles. The role of the Gisiri Police Training School. The Gisiri Police Training School is dedicated to promoting peace and security through training programs specifically designated to meet the regional and international law enforcement needs. The courses offered at Gisiri Police Training School provides a range of courses, including basic police courses, for civilians, cadet courses for serving police officers and civilians, specialized and career courses, driving courses, and training on methods to combat cross-border crime such as smuggling, human trafficking, and drug trafficking. The Peace Support Operation Center is designated as a regional center of excellence by the Eastern African Standby Force in 2013. The center is crucial in preparing officers for African Union and United Nations peacekeeping missions. It offers courses in counterterrorism, public order management, and specialized peacekeeping training. The training's management system. The team visited the various traffic management system implemented by the Republic of Rwanda to enhance the road safety. The sites included the testing, licensing center, automobile inspection center, and the traffic road safety control rooms. The objectives, the primary objective of the visit was to assess the efficiency of the traffic management system implemented by the Republic of Rwanda and to ensure the road safety. The training and licensing center, the head of the department included, I want to go straight to the mandate of the training, the mandate of the testing and licensing center, Busanza. The center is responsible for providing services related to driving tests and issuance of driving licenses. Honorable colleagues, I want to do one, Mr. Honorable Speaker, so that we follow, because there are several of these in the other areas. I am on page 11. The Automobile Inspection Center. It is mandated, the mandate of the Automobile Inspection Center. The center is responsible for services related to testing, gas emissions, shock absorbers, brakes, and including the axle, brake detection, and wheel driving. You have seen all those in terms of capacity and capability, vehicle inspection, technology advancement, application and cost of the inspection to certification. Honorable colleagues, Right Honorable Speaker, I beg that we move over that. In the rest, the colleagues can follow that. The traffic and road safety control. The acting commissioner for the traffic and road safety briefed the subcommittee about the following. The mandate, the center is responsible for monitoring traffic cameras installed across the country to respond to the potential security threats. The primary focusing is on real-time management of the road accidents and ensuring the safety and security on roadways. The achievement of the Traffic and Road Safety Department, many accidents have been attributed to speeding and dangerous maneuvers, riding on moving trucks and heavy trucks, and all those on the roads. Since 2018, Rwanda has installed the speed cameras on all major roads, implemented the speed governors in passenger buses and ambulances, created pedestrian pathways, and launched local road safety campaign known as Giayo Mahoro pathways, Giayo Mahoro, Additionally, Girayo Mahoro. Additionally, this is Kinyarwanda, fine, and that's how it is referred to. The 5, like we said, we will roll over the role of the traffic and road safety control rooms. In fighting against crime, this center is vital for monitoring and identifying criminals and traffic offenders, enabling timely response to accident victims. Additionally, the system stores data for up to 3 months, providing essential information that aids criminal investigation at both national and regional level. The Center of Excellence on Gender-Based Violence and Child Abuse. The center's background: the Regional Center of Excellence on the Regional Center on Excellence on Gender-Based Violence (EBV) and Child Abuse was established as a key initiative of the Kigali International Conference Declaration, launched in 2010, officially inaugurated on November 28, 2016. The center is dedicated to addressing capacity challenges within gender sector, not only in Rwanda, but throughout Africa. It focuses on consolidating, synergizing an existing expertise, on resources to achieve exceptional performance and impactful outcomes. In 2017, the center was recognized as a regional center of excellence by the East African Police Chiefs Cooperation Organization, EAPCO, during the annual general meeting in Naivasha, Kenya, as well as AfriProl and the various African states. The center is mandated to enhance the capacity of security and law enforcement agencies, as well as civilians, in protecting women and children and in combating violence. It conducts research, training and capacity building programs that promote the best practices and facilitate information sharing across the region and Africa. The center is also called upon to represent gender-responsive policing at international forums, and also integrates the community perspective into the security strategies, fostering partnership to prevent violence against women and girls. The center has achieved a lot of capacity building and training of law enforcement personnel. It has conducted multidisciplinary trainings for service providers and both national and international. Conducted the training of trainees session for the EAPCO regional and gender-based EAPCO region and gender, GBV management, developed standard operating procedures for the establishment of one-stop center for the victims of GBV and child abuse, which are pending adoption by EAPCO chiefs. The Right Honorable Speaker, the police senior commandant and staff courses at the National Police College. The background of the college, the National Police College is one of the 3 training centers of Rwanda National Police and one of the identified East African Center of Excellence. This college has a mission of providing high quality, innovative, and professional training to police officers of Rwanda and beyond. The professional courses offered at the police college ran the 3 different courses, including the Police Senior Commander and Staff course, Police Junior Commander and Staff course, Police Tactical Commander course, and Basic Advanced Investigation courses. All these courses attract participants from various Rwanda law enforcement agencies and officers from other African countries, including East African member states. These include the Republic of Burundi, the Republic of Kenya, Federal Republic of Somalia, the Republic of South Sudan, the United Republic of Tanzania, the Republic of Uganda, and the Republic of Rwanda, and among others. Honorable colleagues, Right Honorable Speaker, I beg that I move to page 14. The key findings from the United Republic of Tanzania. In the United Republic of Tanzania, the team paid courtesy calls to the regional commissioner of Mwanza and also visited the Tanzania Police School in Moshi at a time when it was commemorating 60 years of existence. The team also undertook field visits to Moshi, to the Marine Police College. The Tanzania Police School in Moshi, the committee visited the Tanzania Police School in Moshi on 17 September 2024. On the same day, the Tanzania Police Service commemorated 60 years anniversary since the establishment of the The commemoration took place at the Tanzania Police School in Moshi, and the guest of honor was the President of the Republic of Tanzania. The committee was privileged to participate in the commemoration, but failed to interact with the school on matters relating to the oversight activity. During the oversight activity in Mwanza, the subcommittee paid a courtesy call on the regional commissioner and also visited the Marine Police College. The Marine Police College is located in Mwanza, a city located on the shores of Lake Victoria. The regional commissioner, the committee interacted with the regional commissioner of Mwanza, who made the following communication. Mwanza is a center of all lake zone regions of Tanzania, making it a strategic city in the East African community. Mwanza is located within the Lake Victoria Basin. The government of Tanzania is building a center for information on the lake safety in Mwanza. Mwanza is building a huge investigation center, which is a strategic market for the EAC. The government of Tanzania is building a big ship that will be facilitating transport between Mwanza, Jinja, and Kisumu. The ship is also expected to carry about 50 vehicles. And the government of Tanzania is constructing the Magufuli Bridge, which will import the connection of East African partner states, and the construction is at about 94%. The committee undertook the committee thanked page 15. The visit to the Marine Police College. The subcommittee visited the Marine Police College. This is one of the 5 training institutions of the Tanzania Police Force. It was inaugurated in 2011 by the powers vested on the Inspector General of Police, IGP, under Section 7 of the Police Force, and at the service at cap in the bracket you see cap 23222, and directed the police general orders PGO 13, provides for the specialized maritime training for police officers. The establishment of the college was occasioned by raising security threats and increasing prevalence of the transnational organized crime in maritime domain. The threats included terrorism, piracy, smuggling, human trafficking, illicit drugs trafficking, illegal fishing, and illegal fishing. The college is responsible for training qualified maritime law enforcement officers. The Marine Police College was designated by the East African Community as a center of excellence for maritime training in 2012. The Council of Ministers directed the East African Police Chiefs Cooperation Organization to assess the capacity of the college, especially on the following: registration, vision, objectives, and all those. The infrastructure and resources, the instructors' expertise and experience, capacity to award certificates, leadership of the college, autonomy and capacity to make and implement its own decisions, the students' body, and all those. The college provides for training to police officers, government institutions, and private organizations. It also reaches to the community living around the water bodies for training and on safety and rescue during the emergencies. The training of the police officers focuses on equipping them with the abilities, skills, and courage to combat crime and criminal threats that may occur in maritime environment, including the sea, lakes, and rivers on the land. The missions are related there. I request that we move on that from the mission and the core values. Specialized training for capacity building to provide for comprehensive training in maritime and security, law enforcement, and secure operations, enhancing the skills of marine and police personnel across the region, promoting regional cooperation to foster collaboration between East African member states in tackling cross-border crime, cross-border maritime crime, such as terrorism, smuggling, piracy, human trafficking, promoting coordinated and regional security. Research and innovation in maritime security, to conduct research on emerging maritime security threats and develop innovative strategies and technology to address the challenges in the region. Standardization of the marine law enforcement practices to establish and promote common protocols, standards, and best practices for marine police and marine policing, and ensuring consistent law enforcement across the East African community. The Right Honorable Speaker, the strategies and location for marine and police college addressed here, the administrative and registration of the training. I beg that I move over those, Right Honorable Speaker. I am on page 17, which is on the training. Police officers attended the training successfully. I also request that we move over those, Right Honorable Speaker. And then we are looking at table 2, participants of the long-term program of technician and certification of all those. Academic year 2022-2023, there were 8 students that graduated. Academic year 2023-2024, there were 34 students that graduated, giving the total to 39. Participants of short-term courses, they are listed here, Right Honorable Speaker, and you will see that the total is 933. You would see from all the other years. That is on table 3, on the short term. On page 18, we see the resources in terms of human resources. The Marine Police College has a reasonable number of academic and support staff. Currently, the college has 61 personnel, including 8 officers, 10 inspectors, 42 rank and file, and various. So we can see also, Right Honorable Speaker, the table there, which is table 4 on human resources. And then on the land, Right Honorable Speaker, the college is I also, Right Honorable Speaker, request that we also move over those, given that members have the report. And if there is an issue there, we'll do a response around it. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to go to page 20 on the key findings from Kenya, so that we also pick some items from there. The team also undertook field visits to the following police centers in Kenya: the National Police Service Air Wing, the Anti-Terrorism Police Unit, and the National Criminal Investigation Academy. These are the centers hosted in Kenya. The National Police Service Air Wing is based at Wilson Airport in Nairobi. It is a dedicated division within the Kenya Police Service that focuses on aerial operation and support in the main function encompasses surveillance, transportation, search and secure operation, and aiding the law enforcement activities. This unit significantly boasts of the police ability to swiftly react to emergencies, oversees the large areas, and also offer the logistical assistance to ground officers. Right Honorable Speaker, the Kenya Police Service Air Wing has been instrumental in improving the law enforcement and public safety in Kenya. They have participated in variety of operations such as counter-terrorism activities, drug squeezes, and search for rescue missions. The Air Wing also aids in disaster management and humanitarian assistance. It has quickened the response to disaster-stricken areas to deliver supplies and conduct the evacuation and coordinate the rescue mission. The success has structured depending on the factors like funding, trainings, and operational assistance. The Air Wing has emerged with the National Air Force. The Air Wing has merged with the National Air Force, and it is now part of the large aviation department known as the National Air Support Department. The department was officially launched by President Uhuru Kenyatta on December 17, 2020. It has a joint unit controlled by the Ministry of Defense and responsible for managing Kenya National Air secure and support operations. The fleet of 36 aircrafts, including those formerly under the National Police Air Wing, and the Kenya Wildlife Services, the Kenya Electricity Transmission Company, and Kenya Forest Services, among others. Right Honorable Speaker, on the Anti-Terrorism and Police Unit, the team was briefed about the Anti-Terrorism Police Unit, an investigative unit under the Directorate of Criminal Investigation, DCI, that was established in 2003 to mitigate terrorism activities in Kenya. The visions, the missions, and the values, and of course the mandate of the Anti-Terrorism Police Unit include to be the lead agents in all matters of terrorism investigation, prevent, detect, disrupt, and interdict the imminent terrorism activities within the country. Exhaustively investigate all terrorism and terrorism-related cases. Take control, secure evidence at all scenes of terrorist incidents. And the other, Honorable Speaker, conduct public awareness and on prevention of terrorism. There is mitigation of terrorism is done through legislative approaches, enhanced investigation, and intelligence collection capacity. The rest are all listed there, Right Honorable Speaker. The National Criminal Investigation Academy. The National Criminal Investigation Academy was established in 1957 to train the National Police Service personnel to the highest possible standards of competence and integrity. It moved to South Sea in 1974 and has continued to be the prime college offering technical and personnel training on intelligence and investigation. Page 20, the Government Investigative Agency.
Honorable Chair, we had agreed to be using executive summaries, and we have businesses which are others' business of today. Please try to be brief so that we can allow others.
Much obliged, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you.
Right Honorable Speaker, I am on page 27. We've seen the mandate and functions of the mandate and functions, which includes the technical and professional training on criminal investigation, intelligence and investigation. The courses offered there, Right Honorable Speaker, which includes counterterrorism and several courses listed there. The consumers of the National Criminal Investigation Academy, Right Honorable Speaker, which has the regional police services force, the National Police Service, and all the others, Right Honorable Speaker. And on page 23, we have the key findings, Right Honorable Speaker, which we ask her to go through. And then on the transnational crime, Right Honorable Speaker, I request that I move over those. We go, Right Honorable Speaker, to the legal, which is on page 25, the legal and institutional framework for the police joint operation against transnational crimes, which is page 23. And there are the legal frameworks that are listed there, Right Honorable Speaker, and are the same. The transnational crime prevent within the region, and according to the existing data, Burundi, which is page 25, page 26, Burundi prevents crime from within East Africa, including smuggling of goods, mainly prohibited alcoholic beverages, drugs, and expired medical products, and all those. Right Honorable Speaker, the rest will be seen in the report. And on the gender-based violence, Right Honorable Speaker, it's also listed within. And on the performance of the Regional Center of Excellence on Disaster, disarmament established, and the mandate over this, Right Honorable Speaker, is also seen within the report. And the achievements, which is on page 28, on September 20, the need for a regional center on small arms. Right Honorable Speaker, there is a need. There are all the other centers, but there is no center specifically dealing with small arms, which are very many within the region. I think we also need to find and establish a center within that arm. The government of Burundi has located the headquarters of CNAP, a better place, and building of the required quality standard. The government of Burundi has offered to do that, Right Honorable Speaker. When we go to page 29, we are going to see the performance on the Regional Center of Excellence on Disaster Management. What performance that they have done is within this, which is the Director of Planning and Studies, the Director of Prevention of Humanitarian Action and Relief Operation, the Logistics, and then the National School of Civil Protection within those. Right Honorable Speaker, on page 30, you will see the achievements of what this center in Burundi has been positioned to do, which is preparation. I can pick out one: preparation of standard operation procedure on emergency responses and fire safety for the East African community, which have been already been adopted at the East African level of experts. Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on the personalization of the Regional Center of Excellence on Disaster, there is an operationalization that is being set under page 30. And the key findings from the Republic of Uganda. The Republic of Uganda hosts two centers, the Center of Forensics and the Center of Community Policing. The East African Community Regional Forensic and Referral Center of Excellence. The center is hosted in Uganda at the Uganda Police Force Forensic Service Laboratory, established under the Uganda Police Act 1994 and designated as the Regional Forensic Center for Excellence. The center is located at Naguru in the Republic of Uganda. However, it might be relocated to any other place as when the needs may arise. Right Honorable Speaker. There are several areas that this center is engaging in, which is chemical analysis, forensic pathology, and all those that are listed. The cyber and IT forensics. And I want to confirm, Right Honorable Speaker, that this center is doing very, very impressive work. You may think it's not within the region. Then the Department of Forensic Service includes the criminal identification, question documents, ballistics and tool mark, cybercrime as listed there, Right Honorable Speaker. The role of this is to harmonize forensic services delivered standards within all the East African partner states and forensic facilitators. Facilitate certification of forensic scientists and accreditation of laboratory equipment. Right Honorable Speaker, that's one of the roles they do. And under page 33, the key findings at the center includes processes and document of crime scenes. There are areas that they do dealing with identification of disaster victims using DNA and other scientific techniques in situations of disaster, analyzing digital equipments and electronic tools and equipments used in commissioning of cyber crimes. Right Honorable Speaker, the rest colleagues can follow. And the key achievements is that the construction of modern facility for the Region Forensic Referral Center is underway following the directives from His Excellency President of Uganda. The EU funded the Maritime Peace and Security Project, procured ballistics equipment worth 1.7 million euros, and the ballistics department in 2017. Page 34, the East African Secretariat has funded.
Honorable Chair, we have used more than 1 hour.
But Honorable Speaker, I'm dealing with 5 partner states.
Yes, please. If you can, we have the report, and I see that we still have 3 items to follow. You can maybe go to the last recommendations. Yes, please.
You know that we're dealing with 5 partner states.
I know.
It's okay, Right Honorable Speaker. Much obliged. Let me go to the recommendations. If it's Passover, colleagues will do the follow-up on that. The Right Honorable Speaker, we recommend under the recommendation for Secretariat, advocate for various partners for expansion of the Peace Support Operation Centers capacity, enabling it to offer the broad range courses. To ensure that regular assessment of these centers, regular assessment of the center to ensure that they remain sustainable and effective, as some may not be achieving the expected goal, to also remain ESC centers. As we speak, Right Honorable Speaker, the centers are ESC, but they are more manned like partner state centers, even when they are for ESC. But the facilities and how they are being funded, they are more manned like centers of partner states. Conduct capacity building for all the regional centers of excellence to fast-track their effective operationalization, as well as to police other security agencies to keep with the technology advancement, including handling cyber security threats. Conduct a study to identify the root causes of insecurity within the communities and propose the appropriate lasting solution. Right Honorable Speaker, the recommendations to the Council is to argue the Council urgently resolve the issue of the cross-border between the Republic of Burundi and the Republic of Rwanda. Otherwise, it is escalating, Right Honorable Speaker. Develop a regional strategy to addressing smuggling of arms and put an end to negative forces across the community. Enhance the ESC Peace Cooperation Framework to include the harmonization of relevant laws and procedures, exchange of fugitives, and mutual assistance to conducting criminal investigation, sharing the limits existence technical resources such as the forensic centers, and conclusion of extraordinary threat. Argue the Council of Ministers to fast-track the personalization of the regional cooperation agreement and framework services between the partner states as approved on the 8th Sector Council of Interstate Security. Argue the Council of Ministers, argue the ESC Secretariat to support the Centers of Excellence for Community Policing through fundraising through funding the fully operationalization Center of Excellence, but also to argue the Council to harmonize on the trainings of partner states in terms of the training on community policing. Each center is doing their own. We argue that there should be harmonization and standardization of the trainings. In conclusion, Right Honorable Speaker, the region needs to address the pivotal role of technology in combating the emerging security threats and shaping the future of border management. By harmonizing the digital technology, we can streamline the border controls and enhance our surveillance data and response to capacities. The transformation will not only enhance security, but also facilitate the smooth flow of goods and people, thus promote our desired economic growth as a region. Right Honorable Speaker, the Committee on Regional Affairs and Conflict Resolution wishes to thank the IGPs in the respective partner states for the courtesy extended to the committee and for their cooperation in providing relevant information to the teams. The Right Honorable Speaker, the Office of the Clerk, for facilitating and carrying out its oversight committee. The committee hopes that findings and recommendations contained in this report will greatly improve the challenges faced in the regional police centers of excellence in the partner state. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you. Honorable members, in the public gallery this morning, we have 66 students and 9 teachers from Potter's House Academy, which is in Eldoret in Kenya. They have come to observe proceedings. Please stand up. Please stand up so that we can recognize you. Eldoret. It's far. Thank you. You can sit. We also have in the same public gallery 22 teachers of Nakaloki Islamic School, which is in Mbale district in eastern part of Uganda. Please stand to be recognized. Honorable Katwamba. Thank you. Honorable members, the motion on the floor is that the report of the Committee on Regional Affairs and Conflict Resolution on the assessment of the performance and functioning of regional police centers of excellence and security agencies' cooperation in tackling cross-border crime within the EAC region be adopted. Debate is open. Honorable members, we should limit the members who want to contribute because the matter of time. But as I see, we only have 5. It's good. We can start by Honorable Gideon and Honorable Shabal, Sankok, Honorable Mary, Matthias, and 270. Thank you. And Dr. Oda and Ambassador Fatuma. Please try to be brief in your contribution.
I will make 1 minute.
To allow others to...
Thank you, Right Honorable, for the opportunity. I would like to acknowledge that I'm a member of this committee, and I want to just only emphasize one thing that we got during our oversight activity in the Republic of Burundi. This could apply to...
Are you a member of the committee?
Yes.
No. Others. Give the floor to others. We go to the next. I didn't know. Honorable Shabal. Very good. The next.
Thank you.
We'll consider you later.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, from the onset, I will support this report of the Committee of Regional Affairs and Conflict Resolution on the assessment of the performance and function of the regional police centers of excellence and security agencies, cooperation in tackling cross-border crime within the EAC region. Honorable Speaker, from the onset, when we met His Excellency General Yoweri Museveni, he stressed on the need of security. Being a father figure, we ought to have security within our region. Honorable Speaker, but I want to amend some sections. One of it is section 4, page 12, 4.5, the Centers of Excellence on Gender-Based Violence and Child Abuse. For a long time, we have forgotten persons with disabilities as also another marginalized category of people that need affirmative actions. Abuse of persons with disability, you have seen in our streets, being used as begging tools under the sun, under the rain, people pushing them on wheelchairs. Some of them are sick, using them as begging tools. So we should also include in our fight against cross-border crimes, we have imported persons with disabilities to other countries to be used as begging tools. Honorable Speaker, again, the police who are being trained in these centers of excellence should be trained on the need to name criminals by their names, not communities they come from, not state they come from, so that we treat criminals as per their names, not the communities, not the countries they come from, so that we don't end up having cross-border conflict from how we treat specific criminals. Honorable Speaker, lastly, we also want the police to be trained that in cross-border crime, we have to take care of our coastline and that 8 freshwater lakes, together with our rivers, as also potential sources of conduits of criminals. Disaster management should also include disaster management in reference to climate change, like floods and landslide and even drought. Some people are dying because of lack of food, Honorable Speaker. So as we include all these cross-border crimes, we also include disaster management in reference of climate change. I beg to support, Honorable Speaker, with those few amendments.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Sankok.
Clarification, Honorable Speaker.
Clarification.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I intervene to put a point of clarification on the report from our brothers and sisters from the Republic of Burundi. On their page 38 and 39, Right Honorable Speaker, we can see that there are some serious unfounded allegations against Rwanda. And I have to underline this because I have discussed this with the chair chapter, Honorable Siranda, and even the chair of the subcommittee, Honorable Gideon, and even the clerk. Air or land between Rwanda is closed. So we have never closed anything. On Monday 9th, 20 July 2024, EAC ministers have gathered in Zanzibar for their retreat, and their commitment was to tackle this issue, and so far we have no report from them. So I found no reason to push them for further exercises while we don't have their already concluded decisions. Honorable Speaker, sir, when we look on the issue of refugees that are
Procedure.
Right, Honorable Speaker, with due respect, I wonder whether the committee member is amending their own report. So if...
Are you a member of the committee?
Yes. So
I didn't know.
Yes, so I just wanted that to...
I didn't know that you were a member of the committee.
Because the procedure, he would have brought a minority report to be able to counter the allegation that were put in that report.
Thank you. If you have your minority report, you can bring it. And then we...
Right, Honorable Speaker, it is undergo and we will deposit when we finish this debate. Thank you.
Honorable Member, I am now considering the members who signed the report. And I am finding your name. You are number 11. Honorable Ambassador Dr. Harebamungu Matthias, you signed this report. I think that if you...
Under normal circumstance, no one has the right to translate a name. Thank you.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I'm just giving my opinion because if I'm not from this region and I read what is the border riders, I think some explanation should be put within the bracket if it's not put on the acronyms. So, right, Honorable Speaker, I'm supporting the report, but I just want to know from the chair.
Clarification, Mr. Speaker. Clarification.
Under which rules and provision?
Please, let's be brief. You can clarify, but let's be brief.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Of course, I'm rising up such that we don't make our answer look awkward. One is that I want to bring to the attention of the member and the House that if you go to the English dictionary, it is the Oxford English Dictionary, the word border has now been included in the uses of English. But for purpose of clarity, I want to bring this to your attention that or to even educate this House that the the word border started from Malaba. It is a one border post. It started from Malaba, Uganda, and Malaba, Kenya. At that time, there were bicycles. People were moving with the bicycles from one side of the border of Uganda to the other side of the border in Kenya, and then they would also move back from Kenya to Uganda. That is how it started. It started with bicycles. Now it is the motorcycles, and it is the common usage. That is how that word started. This is okay, what you have said. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.
Information, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker.
Further information.
As I'm still on the floor, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, we are losing time on details
yes,
when we don't have enough time.
Right,
Can
Honorable.
you please move?
As I'm still on the floor, I just want to conclude.
Honorable Dr. Oda, thank you for concluding.
I just want to conclude that as the Honorable Minister of the Council of Ministers is around here, we want really to promote such kind of centers so that they really reach the partner states which want to be supported in this aspect. Thank you, Mary. I'm not taking the information. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, Honorable Ndangiza, then Honorable Mukulia.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'd like to thank the team, the Regional Affairs Committee, for a detailed report. It's for having the centers of excellency, and even urge them to continue the benchmarking because it is important in the promotion of peace and security in our region. However, Honorable Speaker, I have an issue on some pages already highlighted by the Ambassador Matthias, page 24 of the report, page 38, and 41 on recommendations. It's all serious allegations on Rwanda, that Rwanda is hosting fugitives from the Republic of Burundi, and that Rwanda is training these fugitives to go and destabilize the country. As a concerned Rwandan, and someone at least who is close to the politics of Rwanda, and who understands where we've come from as a country that went through a genocide and would never ever create instability to another partner state, especially a sister neighboring country, we denounce these serious allegations, and I would even urge them to be expunged from the report because they are baseless, unless if Rwanda has an opportunity to reply. This is my wish, because I want to be categorical. There are bilateral forums where Rwanda and Burundi have been meeting. The issue has been mainly the issue of refugees resulting from the 2015 problems in Burundi. And Rwanda, just like any other country, has the right to receive anybody running to its country for asylum will be received. And there have been forums bilaterally to discuss this between the two countries. But the issue has been the issue of extradition treaty, because these refugees are under the mandate of United Nations High Commission and the International Conference on the Great Lakes region, and therefore cannot just be sent away without informing UNHCR and ICGLR. And this has been the contentious issue, and I believe Rwanda even today is open to this negotiation. The closure of the borders didn't come from Rwanda. Burundi, as a sovereign nation, has a right to close its borders. Ours are still open. Burundi citizens are coming to Rwanda because we respect the issue of free movement of people and goods, because these are citizens of East Africa. So I don't want to really take more time on this, but I really want to urge the committee that the moment you bring a report here, look through it and see what is helpful for us as an assembly. And whatever you bring with evidence. We don't mind. This is a house of debate. We can debate, but we cannot debate rumors, hearsays about countries. So, Right Honorable Speaker, this is my plea. Otherwise, this won't be right for Rwanda. This serious allegation, and Rwanda to defend itself. So this is my plea. Otherwise, we might have reports that rather than urging our ministers to implement them, you raise other issues. And I don't Regional Affairs Committee. With those remarks, I want to thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Information, Right Honorable Speaker. Information.
This house, you start to make it some way difficult to handle. Can you please sit, all of you? Now you will say procedure, another one will say procedure, another one will say information, another one will say this, and we will get a kind of chaos, and I will not allow it here again. I will not. Now, as you raise the procedure, you have 1 minute only. And I will proceed. I hope it is...
So, thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker. And I'm raising on a procedural matter. Right Honourable Speaker, in our rules of procedure, actually, if you look at the people who signed this report, all countries are represented to have read critically on page by for this report, so that when we get to the House, we are all at par. Also, our rules give you a chance to bring a minority report in case you disagree with the majority report. So, Right Honourable Speaker, the procedural issue I'm raising, 2 members from the Republic of Rwanda have raised a pertinent issue that they would really like to disagree with in this report. I would like to ask you, Right Honourable Speaker, wouldn't it be procedural right for us as a parliament, because we are trying to build unity in the community, and other issues can bilaterally be adhered to or attended to by Council of Ministers or by the heads of states for purposes of peace and for purposes of harmony in this House. Wouldn't it be nice now that we harmonize and expand at least that particular, expand those issues where a particular country is being without evidence, because this is a parliament, and a parliament must be based with evidence, so that we are able to proceed with this report with harmony and peace as a community. Right Honourable Speaker, over to you.
Further procedure. Further procedure.
Honourable members, will you allow me now to rule and avoid even procedures? Because look, we are losing time.
Mr. Speaker, you...
Honourable members, and this is my opinion, I have not been elected to divide this community. And this House, as we agreed, this House will never debate political matters. Now, Burundi members should also raise issues, as Rwanda are raising issues. As we did, as even before, we have been avoiding this DRC and Rwanda. These issues which are now handled by our ministers, our government. They should not come here and divide us. We will remain united, we remain one. That is why I invite the chair of the committee to consider these contributions and maybe bring a report which will be reconsidered. It is some words, some phrases, so that we can save our house. We are one. We remain. No, I have to give floor to Mukuria, and I put the question. Please, the last one.
Procedure, Right Honourable. Just one thing.
Yes, Honourable.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, arising from the other procedural matters that have been raised here, and also your Honourable Speaker.
Clarification. Mr. Speaker, sir. I'm a member of the committee and I have something important to say.
Yes, Honourable Mary, you have the floor. I'm sorry for Honourable Kennedy.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm actually surprised that this particular issue is in the report. I don't remember us discussing that. It was not there. So how did it come there? Honestly, I think, Mr. Speaker, we need to just get it out. Because even those all these matters being discussed, when we are going through our final version of the report, other members can say what they remember.
Further clarification.
They don't remember it.
Further clarification, Honorable Speaker.
Please sit down. Now I give the floor to Honorable Shabal. Do you want to fight?
Procedure, Speaker.
But what I can do for on this matter, because I have considered all of these opinions, and even me, I have to tell you that even here, I don't have this report. I hadn't read it before. But if you want us to save time, because we have 2 items behind this, we can proceed. But if you think you can contribute briefly.
Motion, Speaker. Motion, Speaker. Motion.
The Speaker has ruled.
Sit down again.
Motion.
Sit down. Sit down. You sit down. I give the floor to the chair of the committee because he's one who's concerned, but I have ruled it will be brief and contribute.
Right Honorable Speaker, I want to appreciate you for the opportunity granted to me and our team. We know that this is a very good report, but there are also a few areas that our colleagues are contesting, and for the good of us to move as a team, and for the good of us remaining united, because there will be a problem. Right Honorable Speaker, I believe that we have time to go back as a team,
yes,
to rework on these areas. Apart from these few areas, Right Honorable Speaker, I will ask that we will work through, we'll go back to our original text, and all members had signed a report, as you could see.
Yes.
It means there was no problem. So, Right Honorable Speaker, I want to ask that the House gives us an opportunity.
But procedure, Right Honorable Speaker.
Right Honorable Speaker, we ask that we get back on the committee. We'll get back with these few areas that we'll expand as a report.
Procedure.
And therefore,
procedure, Right Honorable Speaker.
As a committee, having been given this opportunity, I move a motion that we withdraw this report. Right Honorable Speaker, we get back to the committee for reconsideration. Right Honorable Speaker.
Do you have seconders? Thank you, honorable members. I put the question that those who are in favor of this motion say aye. Those who are against say nay. The ayes have it.
Item number 6 on the order paper, motion for a resolution of the Assembly recognizing the East African Parliamentary Network Against Corruption as a forum for members of the Assembly to foster transparency and accountability within the community.
Honorable Musanga Batwari. Clement, I'm sorry, before you get the floor, we have in the VIP gallery this morning, we have again visitors from Democratic Party of Uganda. Democratic Party of Uganda. We have Honorable Owekitiwa Christine Mugerwa. My goodness. Stand up for recognition, Honorable. Kasule, she is Deputy Secretary General. Then we have Mr. Imamu Makumbi, he's Vice President, Western Uganda Region. And we have Honorable Sayuni Helen, Vice President, Uganda Youth Democrats. Thank you. And we have Honorable Namatovu Angela, Deputy Administrator. Please stand up for recognition. Thank you. Honorable Clement, you can proceed.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I beg to move a motion for a resolution of the Assembly recognizing the East African Parliamentary Network Against Corruption as a forum for members of the Assembly to foster transparency and accountability within the community. I beg to move.
Please move. Do you have seconders? Honorable Falada, Honorable Matthias, and others.
Right, Honorable Speaker, whereas the partner states committed in Article 6D and 7.2 of the Treaty for the Establishment of the East African Community to abide by good governance, including adherence to the principles of accountability and transparency as part of the fundamental and operational principles of the community, aware that corruption undermines democracy and allows organized crime, terrorism, and other threats to humanity, security flourish, acknowledging the commitment of partner states to prevent and combat corruption domestically and through regional and international initiatives and instruments, and in particular through the adoption of ratification of the United Nations Convention Against Corruption and the African Union Convention on Prevention and Combating Corruption, which contain a comprehensive set of standards, measures, and rules that all countries can apply in order to strengthen their legal and regulatory as it weakens institutions of governance, erodes public trust, undermines fair competition, and discourages investment and trade, thus inhibiting prosperity and hampering sustainable development. Noting that despite the efforts to prevent and combat corruption, most of the partner states still records a high level of corruption according to the Transparency International Corruption Index in passing the legislative reforms, making the necessary budget allocations, and exercising oversight over the executive branch, and as a platform for discussing political integrity and democratic governance, recognizing that the members of the African Parliament assembled in Kampala, in Uganda, in February 1999, during the regional seminar on parliaments and good governance in Africa, resolved to establish the African Parliamentarians Network Against Corruption, APNAC, with the national chapters as its building blocks, including the central, eastern, southern, and western, with the aim of developing, maintaining, and promoting a network of parliaments and parliamentarians in Africa to fight against and effectively address corruption in order to ensure high standards of integrity in their respective countries and on the continent, conscious that African Parliamentarians Network Against Corruption have been established in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Kenya, Rwanda, Tanzania, and Uganda to share peer experience and to promote an exchange of solutions to the common corruption challenges with the other APNAC members and participate in other global anti-corruption initiatives. Further, recognizing that members of the Assembly have set out the objectives, membership, and the organs that constitute the leadership of the network, and has elected an executive committee to recognize the East African Parliamentary Network Against Corruption as a forum for promoting a culture of transparency, accountability, and integrity among members of the Assembly, and promoting the strengthening of good governance
procedural motion
with the ESC organs and institutions.
Procedural motion, Mr.
Yes,
Speaker.
yes, Chair.
Mr. Speaker, I'm raising and watch. We have only 3 minutes before our time provided by Rule 11 to end. Therefore, I move a motion for this Assembly to resolve that we extend the time so that we give Honorable Musanga Batware to proceed and wind up. I move a motion, Mr. Speaker.
Do you have seconders?
Yes.
Honorable members, those who are supporting his motion say aye.
Aye.
Those who are against say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Clement.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker and the honorable members, for granting me this time to finish, to move this motion. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Assembly. Assembly recognizes the East African Parliamentary Network Against Corruption as a forum and a platform for members of the Assembly to promote accountability and integrity and the fight against corruption in Ole Sankok. I submit.
Honorable members, have you justified your motion?
I want to justify. Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, thank you once again to give me this opportunity to justify a motion to recognize the East African Parliamentary Network Against Corruption as a forum to foster transparency and accountability within our community. I beg honorable members to support for different reasons. The East African community is founded on principles of good governance, adherence to rule of law, and accountability to its people. Recognizing the East African Parliamentary Network Against Corruption as a legitimate forum for members to strengthening the community's governance framework. YAPNAC can play an instrumental role in advancing two, which emphasize good governance, democracy, and the rule of law as fundamental principles. The motion to recognize directly to Africa's struggles with the poverty, inadequate infrastructure, and weakened social services. The African Development Bank continues to push for enhanced anti-corruption policies and financial accountability to mitigate impact of corruption and support sustainable development across the region. Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable member, you and the honorable, with these losses largely originating from corruption, tax evasion, and trade misinvoicing. These flows drain the Africa economies, reducing resources available for critical areas such as health, education, and infrastructure as well. These budgets can be used to build schools, hospitals, and roads, among others. According to Global Financial, this figure represents 3%. Corruption and illicit financial flows deprive African nations of an estimate between 20 and 50 billion US dollars in tax revenue annually. This lost tax revenue undermines the public service provision and is a major barrier to strengthening governance institutions across the continent. Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, Transparency International, the global movement working in over 100 countries, corruption is inevitable. This stresses the necessity of sound governance and robust institutions to combat. His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, said, I quote, "The struggle against corruption is a continuous process. We must keep on fighting it at all levels." End of. Excellency President Museveni emphasizes that combating corruption is an ongoing effort that requires persistent action. His Excellency the President of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, said, fighting corruption is a battle that must be fought by everyone. We cannot have some who are fighting and the others who are promoting it. End of the quote. This quote underscores the need for collective responsibility in eradicating corruption. His Excellency Paul Kagame said, I quote again, "For us, integrity is a more accountable East African community." Right, Honorable Speaker, with this communication, I justify the motion and rely on the support of honorable members. I beg to submit.
Thank you, Honorable Clement. The motion on the floor is that this assembly do resolve to recognize the East African Parliamentary Network Against Corruption as a forum for members of the assembly to foster transparency and accountability within the community. Debate is open. But we start by Honorable Sankok, who is the Secretary.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to second this important motion. Honorable Speaker, and let me first of all join you in thanking the Uganda chapter for making our life very memorable here in Uganda. I thank Honorable George Odongo for arranging Siatini sitting, and also Honorable Gerard Blacks for organizing our visit to the Mandela Stadium. Also Honorable Mary Mugenyi for organizing the FGM conference, and also thank AAA, the Honorable Speaker of this House, in advance for the dinner. My appetite is ready. And of course, more so to thank His Excellency General Yoweri Museveni for allowing us to visit his farm. And you know, Honorable Speaker, a pastoralist will always be a pastoralist. The love of the cows is a social attachment, so we felt really at home in His Excellency Yoweri Museveni farm. Honorable Speaker, I will not underscore the need for us to fight corruption. Corruption, all of us agree, it is a cancer. But there have been segmented ways in which to fight corruption. Honorable Speaker, where do corruption occur? Corruption occurs in one arm of the government called the executive, Honorable Speaker. Judiciary, most of the time, corruption may be there, but because a lot of funds are allocated to the executive arm of government, they are the ones that implement the budget that parliaments passed. The legislative arm of government is parliament, whose role is representation, oversight, and budgeting. Parliament pass budgets, but the budgets are implemented by the executive. Corruption happened there. So we have to agree as a House that executive arm cannot fight corruption. For a long time, we have left the fighters of corruption to be civil societies. And the civil societies in Kenya, in East Africa, and in Africa in general, most of them are sponsored by foreign masters who have their own interests, Honorable Speaker. We end up not having civil societies, but evil societies who are answerable to the paymaster, who come with string attached, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, it is high time that parliaments start fighting corruption, because our role is oversight. Our role is budgeting. We are the one who knows how much have gone to this institution, how much we have allocated to that other institution, and we represent the people because our role is also representation. So, Honorable Speaker, this is the background in which we are urging this House to assist us to form the East African Parliamentary Network Against Corruption. Honorable Speaker, I'm a vice chairman of the Kenyan Parliamentary Network Against Corruption. Honorable Speaker, and there is a lot of things that we have done in Kenya in fighting corruption as the House that budget and the House that represent the people. It is a House that meet the people on the ground and know the pinch the people are feeling due to corruption, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the parliaments are the ones that interact with the whole budget, knowing how much have been borrowed and how much can be used, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, in Africa we elect leaders. But these leaders are corrupted by our political, socio-economic new colonizers, Honorable Speaker. They corrupt them and channel their brain into thinking of capital-intensive investment, ending up borrowing from IMF, borrowing from China. And Honorable Speaker, when they give you a loan, China, for instance, will give you a loan, give you a contractor, give you the bank, give you the materials, you end up having almost nothing as a country, Honorable Speaker. So East African Legislative Assembly should come up with this parliamentarian network against corruption to point out some of these issues that the civil societies will be afraid to point out because they cannot bite the hand that feed them. They are fed by foreign masters, Honorable Speaker. We must step into those shoes, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, how we borrow our loans, I can give you an example as I conclude that in Kenya, we borrowed in 2013 around 10 billion US dollars from World Bank. And the exchange rate at that time was 95 shillings to the dollar. That translates to 950 billion Kenya shillings. But Honorable Speaker, in 2022, when the loan was maturing, the dollar exchange rate have gone to 130 Kenya shillings. So the loan itself is now 1.3 trillion Kenya shillings, an addition of 450 billion without interest, Honorable Speaker. That is how the political, social, economic neo-colonizers are colonizing us and being the agents of corruption. The only people who are able to fight them is parliamentarians. You are the representative of the people. So I urge this House to support Honorable Clement, the king of transparency, in bringing transparency in East Africa by supporting this motion and forming this East African Parliamentarian Against Corruption Network or caucus, whatever you may call it, but it is very important. With those very many remarks, Honorable Speaker, I support 100%.
Thank you, Honorable Sankok. Give me the names. They didn't give me the name for those who want to contribute. You didn't get the names. Honorable members, we start. Honorable Falada, you have not spoken for a while. We start by you, then Dr. Ito, then that side, Honorable Matthias and Honorable Aisha. Two there, Honorable Black and Honorable our chair there. Yes. No, I go back to you. I do this and this. My God, no. Now I go back to this side. It will be you and Amongin. Then the last one. But please, 1 minute. This motion is good. Everyone is supporting because corruption is a cancer. It's a cancer that is killing everyone. So, honorable members, just 1 minute. Make sure that you have 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. First of all, I want to congratulate Honorable Clement for this motion. And as you know, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Sankok named us. He has a king and queens in this house. And he named Honorable Clement the king of transparency. And it's not a coincidence that he came with a motion about transparency. I support this motion, Mr. Speaker, because in Kenya, we have APNAC. APNAC is African Parliamentarians Network Against Corruption. Having this organization in East Africa, Mr. Speaker, APNAC will actually promote the good governance in East Africa region. This organization, which aims to coordinate, Mr. Speaker, involves strengthen capacity building, East Africa parliamentary. No, I've not even started yet.
1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, as a region MPs and representatives of the region, we play an essential leadership role in combating corruption and throughout the legislative process, in oversight activities. And I stand here to support the motion, Mr. Speaker, because some of our African head of states, I'm gonna quote my President William Ruto. He said, we must build institutions and that have capacity to investigate corruptions, theft of public resources, state capture, and conflict of interest from any state of officials. There are countries that take their president to court because of corruption, and we must. Please allow me to finish, please. The country to the level. I'm going to the last quote by Paul Kagame on corruption. He also said, corruption is not about stealing public funds. It's about people, integrity, and commitment to the public good. If Africa is to move forward, it requires ethnical leadership. I support, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Dr. Ito, Honorable. 1 minute.
Right Honorable Speaker, please allow me to thank you for giving me this opportunity to make my contribution on a motion raised by Honorable Clement. Right Honorable Speaker, all that what Honorable Sankok and Honorable Clement have said are true. Unfortunately, corruption and corrupt practices are endemic and they are everywhere. They are not just limited to the executive. This is one thing we must accept. Secondly, I do agree on the contribution it makes on slowing down our development, creating poverty, and actually taking us much further away from realizing prosperity for all. The thing Number one, corruption is now treated, if you are corrupt, you are treated as smart, as successful, and and as a trusted person. That is a new nature that we should understand. It is supported, it has a lot of followers. The second is corruption. Corrupt people are very powerful, and they intimidate those people who are honest, and they can even fight and kill them. So that is a new approach or the nature that has come up with corruption. So, Right Honorable Speaker, the corruption will not go away by itself. And it all depends on what Eala has chosen as a role for itself. If you choose to sit down and watch, it
the corrupt
Honorable,
one.
I have to finish what I have to say. Otherwise, don't allow people to get up. So I'm supporting this motion because of the understanding that it is going to take us away from prosperity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Dr. Ito. The next is Honorable Ambassador Matthias.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Matthias, try to be brief. Do not close the microphone, because they should say that those who are refusing you to speak about corruption are the corrupt ones, because they don't want you to. Yes. Okay, you have the floor.
One, Right Honorable Speaker, I stand to support this motion. Corruption is a dormant but very destructive virus. It is embedded in and at all levels of our spheres of our society. As parliamentarians, mainly Eala, we can't keep silent on this. We can't preach to be integrity and accountability to our people when we skip to be accountable ourselves. So if we want to fight it, finally, I think that all of us, members of the East African Legislative Assembly, should support this motion. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, and I beg to submit, sir.
Motion.
Mr. Speaker, I rise under Rule 36, limitation on any motion made by any member, order or impose a limit to the motion or the contribution made by members on that particular motion. Looking at that, many of us supported this motion and something that we want. Mr. Speaker, I beg that we limit the debate for at least now, and then we close the debate and you put the question. I thank you. 2 members only. Thank you.
Honorable, those who are supporting Honorable Mukulia motion, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Now we have 2 members to contribute. After Honorable Matthias, the next one. Oh, we had Honorable Aisha and Honorable Black Siranda. That's the list I have. Aisha, you have the floor.